windows cracked and the stars peeking. Veil so thin where dreams begin. Whispers hum like an ancient hymn. I sit, I drift, the cosmos spins. Lost in the fog where the secrets keep. Shadows dance with the voice.
Welcome everybody back to the 12th house view. So, hopefully you're digging the music that's being put out just to kind of help with your spiritual journey, right? Along with these sessions that we're doing. So, I'm being led to do a collective what's coming next session. So, I know a lot of people did have some challenges around Mercury retrograde, which Mercury's direct, but we still have a lot of other planets that are not. Um, so there's that. But we're gonna focus on what's to come. This is collective, so my request and intention is anybody who's watching this will get a specific message that will help on their journey. If I do get any specific signs, I will call them out. If I get any specific clarifiers, I will call them out to help fine-tune the message for you and not to feed into any delusions. Because that's one thing I do not like to do is feed into any delusions. As a Pisces and someone who's very aware of what delusion looks like, can it help with manifestation? Yes. Visualization? Yes. But it could also help with being stuck in patterns that are best left alone. So we don't want to feed into that. So we're going to look and find out what's coming towards you, what's next. Um, and I will give clarifying information. I'll also put their specific indicators. I'll put that on the beginning of the you have already seen it. If you're this far in, then you already saw it. But I'm going to put them on the front to help people know if this reading is for them or if it's not. So let's get to it. So the first one I'm going to do is kind of help us clue in on the energy that wants to come through this evening. 3 cards, please, for the situation. The energy that wants to come through this evening. 3 cards. 3 cards. 3 cards plus one. That's a great card. Two. Somebody has received a big blessing. So I will say that. Blessing, I'm hearing pregnancy. Somebody maybe just had a baby or found out they were pregnant. Okay. Um, but it doesn't have to be a baby, but I'm just hearing that. So we have blessing, protest, and strategy. So there are going to be some indicators. Let me pull the energy off of each card. So strategy, this is something around work related, somebody who's really focused on work or dealing with issues that are with work or just busy. Work is taking up a lot of their life. So that's one of the collective group I'm going to be tapping into. Protest. I feel that these are individuals who are currently going through a challenge. This could be work, love, relationship, where you're having to stand up for yourself or for others. I'm hearing that clearly. Standing up for yourself or for others. Okay. I mean, that's going to look different for everybody because these situations would look different for everybody, right? Everybody's story is different. And then we have blessing. Like I said, it does feel like it's tied to pregnancy or birth of a child, or somebody just receiving some really good news, somebody receiving something that they prayed for, or something that you have prayed for is en route. So these are some just, and if this doesn't sound like anything like you, again, use your discernment. To take or feel or attach to the reading. When I do reads, if you do not feel any visceral connection, no, if you don't feel like an energetic hit, I know for me, sometimes I'll listen to a reader. I only have a handful that I actually really listen to, um, because you can go down the rabbit hole. I actually have a podcast episode about going down the rabbit hole, and that can really mess your energy up. So I only listen to, I would say, 2 or 3 on here. Um, I can kind of pick up early on that this is not my read, and then I'll turn it off, right? So you should get some type of energetic hit, nudge that, oh, I need to be tuning in, right? So again, what I'm picking up so far right now is individuals who have been fully engulfed with work, or and it feels like you're in it would be a leadership role because it feels like you manage people or you have to um, you're in strategic meetings. You do strategy meetings. You lead them. So it would be somebody who's in that space, um, the group in the collective that they're advocating for themselves or other people. You're having to speak for others, either yourself or other people, something around their rights. And with I'm just leaving it at that. And blessing, this could be somebody who just received a blessing, who's about to receive one, something that you've been praying for. It could be approvals on loans, I'm hearing. Again, I already talked about the pregnancy, acceptance into certain programs. These are the collectives I'm talking about right now for this particular pull. So hold on one second as I meditate to tap in. All right, there we go. Thank you so much in advance, Spirit. And when I'm saying Spirit, I'm talking about Holy Spirit, who I'm connecting to. 'Cause I know a lot of people sometimes I get questions about that. But I will say that uh, the first group I'm reading for has dealt with something that has caused them to be on guard. So either somebody has shown a part of themselves or it has shown themselves to you to where now you are not trusting of this individual. Um, and this person knows that they did something grimy. That this person knows. So this is not somebody who they don't know they did something. They're fully aware that they did something that because I'm looking at him looking back, this energy looking back, like they know they did something. This is not a secret. And I'm not, let me get the rest of the cards out. Because I'm not gonna say it was something that was devastating though. All right. It feels like somebody did something. It does feel like it puts you on guard. Like, I don't know if I can trust you like that. And this does not have to be a romantic partner. This can be something at work. This can be a friend. This can be a family member. But somebody did something that has you like side eyeing. I don't know if I can trust you like that anymore. All right, let me get the next card out and then we can dive into this group here. One more card, please. And it feels like you have informed this person. Like they know they did something. It's not a secret. Because it feels like there has been conversations about it where you have made them know, like they for some of you it might have been really hard to have this conversation. Oof. Like they know they did something, right? They know that whatever it was. But again, I will say it wasn't something that was earth shattering. For some people, hold on one second. For some people, it was something like, I figured that was going on. Or I knew this person was going to end up doing that. Or I know I shouldn't trust that person in the first place. So it looks like there is confirmation of what you were already suspecting. And for some of you, you were happy about it. Like, I knew it. I knew that was going to happen, or I knew that was going on. And then you were able to lay the law down, putting down boundaries. Look, I'm not doing this. This is not what I'm doing, right? What I'm not going to do. Some of you might have actually said those words, but you really were able to stay in your space, in your energy, protecting your energy, but being very upfront about what you were not going to tolerate. So as we go into here, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I don't feel like this person is 100% gone. And I'm saying that because I'm looking at the King of Knights. Sorry. The King of Knights. What the hell? I'm looking at the Knight of Swords. I'm looking at the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. There's a desire for communication, and they might have already attempted it. For some of you, I'm seeing the Eight of Wands. I'm seeing the Page of Swords. They are watching. If they have not attempted it, for the group I'm talking to, and I'm gonna try to get some more information for the group I'm talking to. If they have not attempted it yet, they're watching to find out when it's going to be best to make that attempt. So again, for this is going to be, I'm trying to get more specific. Like for a lot of you, the contact has already happened. The communication has already happened. If it hasn't happened yet, I do see it coming in. I'm looking at the Knight of Swords and I'm looking at the Page of Swords. They're in the Ace of Wands. They want to have a resurgence, and what they're going to play, their play is going to be, I'm going to be more balanced. All right. So for me to hear that, that makes me think that there might have been, or there was, not a might, there was an imbalance here. Somebody, most likely it was the person listening to this, was doing the most, was doing too much. And not too much in a bad way. They were just doing the most out of the pairing. So you were making more of the calls, you were making more of the text, you were the one doing all the planning, blah blah blah. Pick a action, but you were doing it. Another person kind of just came along for the ride. So when you found out whatever it was you found out, you were kind of like, well, that makes sense because they really did seem like they were all in the first place. They seem distracted in the first place. So let me see if I can help confirm who this person might be. If you're still asking, or you're like, this could be my situation. Somebody, oh, yike. Somebody owns a snake. You either have a snake or you're thinking about getting a snake. And that could be either an actual snake or a tattoo of one. Um, I don't like snakes, even though I have a Medusa tattoo, but that's for a whole nother reason. I my Medusa tattoo, her hair is locks, not snakes. I digress. So somebody might have um a snake, getting a snake, wants to get a snake, and again, it could be the tattoo or something around or about a snake. I also am getting somebody who I'm there's fruit, like fruit salad. So somebody's either you're eating fruit salad right now, or you had some earlier today, or for how some other reason is going to cross your path. So fruit salad. Let me make sure this is not in the glare area. Two more cards, please. This person is somebody that you've known for some time. And it feels like, woof, interesting. One more card. Let me get one more card and then I'll there's a couple meanings I'm getting with that one. One more card, please, to help confirm who we're talking about. Ooh, okay. Okay, how this message is coming across, this is it's gonna be one or the other. One, the first one, to help fine tune the frequency here for this reading. The first group I'm getting is in the beginning, this person presented themselves. I'm looking at the origin, commitment, and promise. In the beginning, this person presented themselves as if that's what they wanted. Commitment. Um, they might have even given you a promise ring or talked about it. But that was kind of their thing. That's what they kind of pushed. And then you found that they were doing something that was obviously not aligned with that. So that's one group. So if you were with somebody who might have been love bombing you in the beginning, who might have been really clingy in the beginning, who might have been, this is what I want to get married, da 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 da, in the beginning, and then they did something grimy, um, and you called them out on it, this could very well be your reading. Now, the other group I'm getting, this is what this person is coming back for. I know, I know, it's kind of hard, but that's what it's a very separate group here. One group, the interaction began with a lot of love bombing. This is what I want. Let's run away. Da 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 da. And then the other group I'm pulling for, again, same frequency, right? Just on the opposite end of it. This is what they're coming back for. So if you're picking up that this is your space, your energy, and in the beginning that's who how they were, then okay, we're tapped in. But if you are picking up this is your energy and they weren't like that in the beginning, then this, potentially that's what they're coming back for. Now again, like I said, I'm not trying to feed into any delusion, so I will continue to give you additional information as it comes through. So what I want to find out is what should you know about this person when they come back? What are the immediate new things you need to know about this person when they come back? Jeez. So they might come back really lighthearted. It feels like approaching as a friend. So it might come back as, hey, I saw this and thought about you. It might come back as, hey, this thing is going on. Somebody with football, something, there's somebody who's tied to football. And it's going to be something around football. Um, Either you guys bonded over football. Football is a thing. And it feels like that's what they're using again as a soft touch point. It's they're checking your temperature to see if you are ready to interact with them before the truth comes out. So it does feel like they have more to talk to you about. It does feel like they have a lot more to say, but it feels like it comes in really light. So it comes in aggressively, but it comes in aggressively friendly. So it's not like somebody popping up, thank gosh, at your door banging and having the boombox over their head and playing music. It does feel like it's more of a random, hey, I got these tickets, or hey, I saw this was happening, do you want to go? So it feels more like that, and it's in a way that's more not as aggressive as I need to tell you something. I need to get something off my chest. Will you just listen to me? So just be aware of that. And again, this feels extremely close. For some of you, it has already happened. For some of you, it has already happened. I'm also hearing that there also there's somebody or people. It's a collective. I mean, this might be for just one person. I don't know. There's somebody who's listening who thinks like they cannot access you on your social medias or something. They can. And it doesn't feel like they're using fake accounts. So I don't know what that means. So I don't know if they have different accounts or maybe they have a business account because again, I did see the business thing. Um, because it doesn't feel like they're doing it sneaky. It feels like they can, but they it feels like they can see. So just putting that out there. Um, it doesn't feel like they're doing it from a fake account. Like I don't feel like it's a burner account or something, but they can see what you're posting. Um, mm, but they're not going to admit to that. Even though they're not doing it sneaky, they're not going to admit that they're watching you, but they are watching you. And they're using that information to find out when it's the best time to approach. And again, the approach is really friendly. Like, again, something about football, something about the season of fall. All right. There's something about fall. There's something about camping, something about outdoors and nature. So be mindful of that. So right now, I'm going to see what the outcome is for this group of what's coming your way. Let's see what this outcome is. Because again, if this has not happened yet, when I tell you it is super duper close, it might happen as soon as you might get the text while you're watching this. It's that the energy is that close. Like this person's been sitting on it, and like it feels like they're ready to act. So because I'm just picking, yeah, I'm picking up, I'm tasting. Ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it because I'm a vegetarian, but it tastes like hot dog food and stuff. Ugh. it definitely feels like you're out watching something outside that they're asking you if you want to attend. It could even be, it doesn't have to be football either. It could be baseball, or this person plays that. Something about Savannah Bananas is important too. All right. Hopefully, I'm giving a lot of fine-tuning clues, so hopefully some of it is landing. All right. So what's going to be the outcome? What is the outcome? What is no? What is the intention? All right. What is the intention for the collective who this is referring to when this person returns? What is their intention? Six cards, please. What is their intention? What is their intention? What is their intent? Jeez. Hold on. What is their intention? This person's going to be nervous, like in a way that you might not expect them to be. Um, they really feel highly. They feel you're out of their league, I'm hearing. They feel very starstruck, I'm hearing. So you might be somebody who does something in public, you might be in the public eye, you might do something that a lot of people pay attention to. And this person is kind of geeked out about it, like low key, not telling you, but they are like, gee, I wish I could be like, have what you have. And it's not like you are, it's not like you're boastful. You're just being you, but this person is kind of like fan guy, fangirl over you, but you wouldn't know it. Like right now, I'm looking at this individual, the Page of Pentacles, trying to give this pentacle to the Nine of Pentacles, and she's involved in something else. And that's what it really feels like. It feels like after whatever happened, you just went ahead and lived your life. You were doing you, whatever doing you is, right? And this person is feeling left out in the cold. This person is feeling, but the thing is, it's feeling left out in the cold, but it feels like they're the one who left the area. I know it said six cards, but they're telling me to keep pulling because they want the cards to land where they're supposed to. So that's what I shall do. Um, but I'm hearing they took themselves out. They took themselves out the race. Again, we're talking about sports. This person could have ran track. You could have run track. This another indicator here. Because I heard they took themselves out the race because they didn't feel they were worthy to be in your space. Like they felt they're here and you're here. But it doesn't feel like you were doing anything specifically for them to feel that way. That was them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was them. Okay. And they're anxious. Like they know that there's a connection here, but they're anxious on how am I supposed to live in that? Mm. This person probably sounds like they need therapy. Uh, you might make more money than this person. You might be more advanced in your career than this person. Because there's some intimidation. And again, it's not that you are doing anything to cause them to feel that way. This is them. This is them. Like it again, when you're looking at the Eight of Swords, this person, all they got to do is walk out. Like there's nothing keeping them there, right? Um, but the my concern for this group is if this person hasn't resolved those issues, what makes that person not take themselves out of the game again, you know? Or do something to sabotage. Because this is what I'm picking up here. Sabotaging energy, stagnant energy, and it's because this person does not feel worthy enough to be in your space. Okay. They don't feel worthy enough to be in your space. Somebody could have an injury or had an injury, something around the legs or the ankle. That could be significant as well. Um, This person walking off, right, taking themselves out of the game. I'm looking at the red hoodie here. Red might be significant. This person might like a lot of red. They wear a lot of red. Uh, Taking themselves out of the game, self-sabotaging, feeling left out, but they still want to offer you. And it's like, do I have enough to offer this person? What can I give this person that they don't already have? Mm. All right. But if you're, I'm wondering if this person feels a connection. They absolutely do. They actually feel like you're a past life type of connection. You're a soulmate type of connection. They know that walking away from this and permanently, they're not going to find that connection with somebody else. And again, I'm looking at the red hat here. Red is very significant for for either you or the person. I'm hearing more for the person. All right. Let's see if they're going to get themselves together because I wanted this to be an intent, but Spirit wanted to give you more context around why it happened. Because I hear people, I guess there might have been some questions on why they did that. Like, why did they walk off? Why did they leave? So now we're gonna go and back into let's get some intent. Let's get these decks over here. So many decks, so many decks. Dex. Decks is what I'm saying. Dex. All right, so let's see what the intention is. All right, let's see what the intention is. What is the intention? I don't like to have it on the screen. Well, whatever. What is their intention? Oof, too many, too many. All right, they want me to shuffle. Three shuffles. Um, There's somebody right now who might be hearing sirens. Again, I'm seeing red. So somebody might be someplace where there's an ambulance or a fire truck that just passed by. That is very specific. So if that is you, then you know this energy is for you. It might not even be your real. It could be somebody playing with a toy that has a siren on it. All right. What is the intention of this person coming back? Gosh, darn it. They definitely want to talk. They definitely want to talk. Somebody feels like I need to get something off my chest. That's what I'm hearing them say. I need to get something off my chest. You got it all wrong. You got it all wrong is what I'm hearing. Right? What is their intention? You got it all wrong. Here's the Nine of Pentacles again. Somebody might have a phoenix, either something with a phoenix on it, phoenix tattoo, um, or thinking about getting one. Three more cards. Two more cards. There might be water placements, either on your end or theirs. And when I say water placements, I'm not just talking about the sun card, right? I'm talking about all the major ones. So you're talking about your personal planets, your rising, your moon. One more card, please. Ooh, wee. Mm. Their intention is to fix this. They don't like this left out feeling. Like they feel are missing out on stuff. So I don't know if you were like a fun, oof, there's also another person on the field here. I don't know if you were somebody who brought a lot of adventure into this person's life, somebody who brought a lot of fun, something since this separation, I would say, and again, it feels like they're the ones who separated themselves. So that's going to give you some more indication who I'm talking about, either through action or just they just said I'm out. For some of you, they didn't just say that they were out, they just bounced. But it feels like they separated themselves. So it's a self-inflicted wound, honestly, but they feel like they're missing out on stuff. So either there's something about what you brought into this person's life that they are missing. Like if you talk to them, they would, if you were talking to them, they would be like, they don't laugh as much, or they don't think about different things as much, or they're not stimulated the same way, or even if they've tried to talk to other people and it feels like they have to try to kind of get you out of their system, because it does feel like when this person left, there was not an intention on circling back. All right. I'm going to put that out there. It feels like when this person left, there was not an intention on circling back. Um, because it feels like, again, they have some stuff they need to work on, but their life just wasn't joyful without your interaction. And it's like, okay, I'm tired of feeling like this. I need to suck it up and do this. Now, so their intention is a foundation, building a foundation with you. We have the Four of Wands under the Nine of Pentacles, which in all these reads you're being represented by. Um, some of them feel like it might be too late. And for some of them, it might be. Because I'm looking at the Knight of Pentacles here, trying to come on in. So for some of them, ooh, or they might be the Knight of Pentacles and your King of Cups is here. Either way, they're two energies here. Um, so if you know who I'm talking about, who self-sabotaged and chose to leave, and now they're trying to strategize again, the strategy card to come back. If you are not already talking to somebody else, that energy is here. And it feels newer. It feels newer. So this feels like the newer energy, the Knight of Pentacles. Um, there might be an age difference, or you might be closer in age to the person who left due to feeling self-sabotage. But again, we are looking at somebody who is trying to come back to build a foundation. Now, I'm not seeing any runaway with me cards, but it does feel like something about building houses is important too. Either this person has construction in their background, has worked on houses, works on houses, specifically building the house. And when I'm seeing is this person is wanting to come back, ooh, knows that they have to have a strong foundation. And it feels like that's part of the conversation. Like where they were initially was not somebody who could offer that strong foundation. So you were building a mansion on sinking sand. So when them coming back, wanting to have this conversation, movement, it's more of let's do this the right way. Oof. Oh boy. I'm sorry. It was very heavy for a second. Ooh. I will say this. If you are talking to somebody else and this person comes back that they don't take no for an answer, it's kind of like there's some arrogance with them. I'm going to be 100%. Like, oh, that's a challenge. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Bet. Like that's a challenge to them because it feels like they feel like they know what you like on across all boards, and it feels like a challenge to them. They want to come out of where they put themselves in. It's kind of like seeing the Eight of Swords, the person's blindfold coming off, and they're actually walking out of the swords of that self-inflicted prison they put themselves in. And they want to build a foundation. And I'm hearing we need to do it the right way. Before was not the right way. We need to do it the right way. All right, so let's see what the outcome is for this group. What's the outcome for this group, please? What's the outcome for this group? Is one, two more cards. What's the outcome for this group, please? One more card. Or what's that? Whew. We have Two of Cups, Queen of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles again. Mm. This person means what they say. I will say that. So I don't know what the shady energy was, what that person might have done. Again, it's going to be different for everybody else. But this person is coming back accountable. Like there isn't somebody saying, you know what, I don't see it the way you see it, and blah blah blah. This person is going to own up to it and say, you're absolutely right. That was garbage behavior that I did, and I'm owning up to it. What do I need to do? And this, again, if this hasn't happened already, it's coming in soon. Some of you are listening and it's already happened. But it's a situation where the person's like, I did this. They're going to be 100% accountable for it. They're going to try to explain what the purpose was. And it's like, all right, let's do this the right way. And it looks like they're for real with the Two of Cups here, the Queen of Wands here, and the Six of Pentacles here. They view, I'm telling you, they view you. I'm surprised the Empress didn't come out, but I guess the Nine of Pentacles is like the minor arcana for the Empress. They view you as like the total package. Like they like the way you look, they like the way you dress, they like the way you talk, they like the way you smell. Like it was almost like they were scared. Like, what am I gonna do with this? Like they might have been in a situation or a space in life where they were usually the one who was all that in their relationships. Like they're all that. They're the prize. They're the prize, right? And then when they got to, with you, you were the prize and they didn't know how to act, so they bounced. Or they did something to sabotage the situation. But it looks like they come back. And again, this is so close because I'm picking it up so strong. This might have already happened for you. And just understand that they come back really like friendly. Again, either might be making a joke, might be referring to something sports, something nature, something that they know is like a code, a secret code to get to your good side. But that's not the reason of coming back. They want to build a foundation. They want to be held accountable and build a foundation. Now, for some of you who already have somebody else in the picture, that how you choose to maneuver, that's going to be on you. But that's what's going on. So that's that group. We're going to do the next group. So let's see what this collective group is. They want me to do three separate groups. So that's first. We're about to do the second, and then we'll do the third. Three card, please. Thank you. Ooh, my goodness. I will say this connection, somebody has a temper. Let's keep going. One more card, please, to help us swan fan. Somebody has a temper in this group. Might be you, could be the other person. This group does not feel as if they're separated. The first group, it was more of a no contact, which again, the contact is coming in so strong. The contact might have already happened, but they were in no contact. This group feels like there there's communication. Like some of you actually live together. Um, hmm. But there are arguments. There are okay, this is going to be very specific. There's somebody who feels like their significant other is uh is seeing somebody at work or has a work wife, work husband, like literally. I'm being told to say that is not what's happening. I'm also being told to tell you that this person is making passes at the person of interest, but the person is not, they like their ego to be fed, but they're not acting on it. So somebody needed to hear that. Um, Again, this group does not feel like they're separated. It feels like there's still communication. It's just it don't feel good. So this group, I'm being told, you're trying to figure out, is it time to go? Is this relationship worth it? Is it time to go? All right, let's jump in here. Let's see what we got. Is it time to go? Should I stay? Should I go? Um, I'm hearing a song. Should I stay? Uh, oh gosh, I can't stand this man. I used to like him until found out what type of parent he is. But Brian McKnight, there's a song he has, "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" That's the song I'm hearing right now. So you might want to listen to that. Um, Like somebody is, that's the question for this group, is somebody who's wondering if they need to stay or do they need to go. Again, somebody also feels like somebody's messing around with somebody at work. I'm being told there's not any physical stuff going on. If anything, is flirting type of energy because your person of interest likes that attention. But when they say there's nothing going on, like physically, there isn't. But there is flirting going on. Like if you walked in on it, you'll be pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I would, but I do have a jealousy issue. Scorpios in my chart, and mix that with some Sagittarius and Pisces, and we have recipe for disaster. I know what my limits are, though. I know what my triggers are, and I'm very upfront about that. I will let people know. Don't do this. I'll make no. I'm not gonna put in incriminating evidence on this video. I will say even though you guys might be together, the communication is really tense. And again, that's why I was picking up anger. There might be arguments, there might be fights, um, stonewalling, like the silent treatment. Yep, and here's the go card. Three more cards. And it feels like when somebody gives a silent treatment, like they go in. If there was a medal for the silent treatment, they would win it. One more cards, please. One more card. Mm, Jeez. I will say either somebody owns a horse, they like horses, you have pictures of horses. Um, yeah. There something about horses is significant. So what I will say is, okay, the energy around it, and it feels like this person feels like, look, I'm doing everything you want me to, and you're just never satisfied. And I'm hearing that might even have been words that you have heard. Like, you're never satisfied. You're never satisfied. Um, it feels like there might have already been conversations about ending this. And if you're married, getting different locations. But there's multiple offers coming in here though. And that could be another reason somebody gets a lot of attention. And again, we just talked about somebody at work who gets this attention. That seems to be a challenge to this of what's going on, conflict around that. And again, I'm looking at the work card too. And it might actually be the feminine energy that's getting the attention at work, and that's causing confusion. Um, mm, But when I look down here at the King of Cups with the Strength card and the Death, there's going to have to be a desire on both parties to put the work in for this. And I know that's like, okay, duh, isn't that for everything? But specifically for the group I'm talking to, it looks like because both parties, the person watching this and the person on the other side of this, has thoughts in their head that the other person is doing something. I'm getting that very clearly. Um, and you might need a neutral party, a counselor, a therapist, something to help with that because it really feels like both individuals think the other person, there's a lot of projecting going on. I'll say that. Give me three cards, please. Give me three cards to give us some additional context. Mm, Two more cards, please. One more, please. One more card, please. Yeah, it feels like yeah, let's see. Ugh. We have solitude again, that break, judgment, ugh, and meditate. So this is that energy of going back to each other's corners, like in boxing, right? And they send both parties to their corners to have time apart to have that break. I'm not going to say that you absolutely need to take a break, but the cards are suggesting that should be a part of the conversation. All right. I'm not saying that you absolutely need to, but the cards are suggesting that needs to be a part of the conversation. But there has to get to the point where there's an ability to conversate about what's upsetting you. Both parties thinks their other party is doing what they think their person's. It's projecting. Um, mm. All right. Let's do an outcome with this. Let's do an outcome with this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't want to do this though. Hmm. What actions will the person of interest take? What actions will the person of interest take towards the person watching this? What actions will the person of interest take toward the person watching this? Three more cards, please. What action? What action will the person of interest take? Two more cards. My goodness. Okay. So, um, we have the Strength card, the Death card, the Seven of Wands, the Four of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Now, with the Death card here, especially for this deck, I don't see it as an ending of something. I see it as transformation and doing the inner work where the sun is. And that's what it feels like it's going to take for this. There's stuff going on internally on both parties. It's both parties that's going to have to be addressed. And it's going to take some strength to do that, right? We have to put our weapons down. And then we have the Four of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. And so I'm seeing the meditation, right? I'm seeing the pause. I'm seeing the take a break. But I'm also seeing the masculine is kind of on guard because it looks like the feminine kind of is like, you know what? If we take this break, that's cool. I'm gonna focus on me. And it feels like the feminine energy in this group does that. They focus on themselves. Some of you might live near water or something significant around water. If you just went to water, something significant around water. But it looks like the masculine in this stays still kind of in their their funk. Um, and that my concern with that is if you guys are taking a trial separation or trying to see other people or whatever, the feminine in this group actually does what they're saying they're going to do, while the masculine is kind of sulking the whole time. So an example would be if you're saying, okay, let's try to talk to other people and da 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 da. That person's going to be watching you the whole time. It's like when you take a break, and now I will say this. I was in a situation and then we took a break for about 8 months. And I found out that he had smashed some other chick in that period of time. And was I pissed? I was absolutely mad. That 8 months got stretched out for another 2 months because I'm like, ew. But there's some people who are like, hey, we were in a break. I should be able to do whatever I want to do. So I will say this. If you are going to choose to take a break, which it looks like where the cards are leading or suggesting, have that conversation of what the parameters are around said break or separation. Are you cool with the other person hooking up with other people or whatever when you're on the break? Or is that something you want to do? Have some parameters around it, and communicate those things, because you don't want to try to circle back together to see if you can make this work. And now you have a whole nother issue to kind of discuss. So I know everybody has their own feelings about those situations. So it's just best to communicate. Because what I'm seeing is the feminine's kind of living her best life while she's on the break, while the masculine's still sulking, still mad, still watching who you're talking to, still monitoring your social media, still seeing, who's picking you up or are you out in these streets. So definitely have a conversation around that because that just looks like, from what I'm looking at it, a recipe for disaster. All right. So that's that group. And again, not telling you it's time to bounce. All I'm saying is have that conversation. And if you do decide to take a break, instead of ending it completely, just have a conversation about what that looks like for both individuals. Now we're going to jump into the third group, the third and final group. All right. Whew. All right, we have daydream, accident, triumph. So somebody could have very well just dealt with a car accident. It doesn't feel like it's major. Maybe like a ding or, somebody just fender bender is what I'm hearing. Somebody also might have just got back from a summer break and getting back into things. Somebody also might have just got promoted, I'm hearing. That's going to be this group of individuals I'm connecting to for this read here. And congratulations if you're one of the ones who just got promoted. So let's see what's going on. Something about a dragonfly, flies, no, dragonfly and flies. Um, gnats, flies and gnats. Somebody's dealing with that in their house. That sucks. Get one of those zappers. Those work really well. Let me see if there's anything else specifically to this group. I'm being told this. Hold on. This is going to be a direct, straight to the point read. Okay. This is something. Ooh. This group, if you have you know how some relationships like they'll get a puppy and they share the puppy. I, I've never seen it. I'm just being told this is the energy I'm picking up. You might have a shared pup. Like you got the pup together. So like if you guys went your separate ways, that would be a point of contention because it's like who's gonna get the dog. Um, but I'm not feeling like somebody's going their separate ways. It feels more like, is this person really for real? This is what this group is. So the first group was a ghoster who is coming back or has already come back. The second group is somebody deciding if they need to leave the situation. This group feels like, is this too good to be true energy? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Ooh. Is this too good to be true? Like waiting for the other shoe to fall. And you might have even had that in the conversation. And I'm being told again, this is going to be a very direct read. Um, Somebody is a sneakerhead, I will say that. Um, like they dag nabbit. Chunky energy. Chunky as in the energies just feels really stuck. They like sort their sneakers out and they actually clean their sneakers and their sneakers are an extension of them. I'm hearing that. All right. My card, please. Is this person who they say they are? And they might have got you the pup. They might have. You might have said you wanted this. It's very specifically a puppy, and you might have said something about it, and they ended up getting it for you. Um, oof. But the question is like, is this person who they say they are? And that's interesting how I'm hearing it. Like, okay, who they say they are. Like, okay, do we do background checks? Uh, does this person really have the job they say they have? One more card, please. One more card, please. Okay, I will say this. In the justice. I don't feel that this person is pulling the wool over your eyes. Somebody's name might be Will or have Will in their name. First, middle, or last name, because I was trying to say wool and I kept hearing Will. I will say that there's some aspects about their lives, and their background that they might have embellished a little bit. I will say that. But I'm not picking up that it's something that you would like in the relationship over. Like they might have said they graduated from a certain school and it wasn't that school, it was a different one, but they did graduate. It could be something like, oh, I work out 5 days a week and they really just work out two. So it's little white lies, but I'm also hearing, I'm looking at the white rabbit, but I'm also hearing, little white lies can just keep snowballing and snowballing. I don't feel like that's going to be an issue here. It feels like this person feels they have to say this to kind of impress you, to get you to learn more about them. But it's really interesting because it doesn't feel like these things that they're kind of telling little white lies about is something you would be concerned about. It's kind of like, that's weird. Why would I care if you only went to the gym twice a day instead of five? Like, that's why would you be untruthful about that? Um, I am seeing the lovers here, the ace of wands here, the hierophant here. So I do feel like this person looks to you as a potential long-term connection. With the justice and the death here, though, it feels like they are concerned, like, okay, if she did know I only went to the gym twice out of 5 days, she might not want to deal with me anymore. Or if she did find out that I went to USC instead of Clemson, a little shade, a little shade, um, that she doesn't want to deal with me anymore. And she might not, like it's USC. But I'm just saying, it's a joke. Go dogs now, baby. So whatever. Um, so I will say that, but I the question for this group is this person who they say they are? On the grand scheme of things, they are. Um, there's just little tweaks that they might be kind of blowing up a little bit, so they know, they want to get you locked in. I would suggest having conversation, you don't have to call them out necessarily, but offer an opportunity for them to be truthful on there, because I'm hearing for this group, you already kind of have suspect the areas I'm referring to. Let me see if there's intention here, long-term intention here. All right, we have the hermit. Person might have Virgo someplace in their chart. I'm hearing that. Or you might, the sun. Yeah, it's like you're their light. And then justice again, justice twice. Like I really feel that they are like, if they know about, if I am honest, they might turn away from me. So I would say have open communication because I'm not seeing anything here that this person is doing something that is Seven of Swords type of energy. It's more of I want this person to like me. The difference from the first group, that person was just super sure that this person was not, they couldn't meet the standard of what this other person was. And instead of talking about it, they just left. This person feels like they can, but they want to make sure they're in the door completely. And again, for this group, I'm hearing you already have an idea of the areas you think this person might not be being 100% about. So the key is communication because it doesn't feel like this person wants to go anywhere. We have the Hierophant here. Um, it doesn't feel like this person wants to go anywhere. Like Three of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Lovers. It just feels like I will say this feels new. This feels like a new energy. Um, so have the conversation or leave room or space open for the conversation because it feels like once you get over that hump, you'll be able to progress further down the road. Because as long as there's feelings of untruths going on, it's gonna be problematic. Because it's like, okay, if I can't trust you with how many times you go to the gym, just using that as an example, or somebody might be a gym rat. But if I can't trust how many times you go to the gym, then how can I trust that when you don't pick up my calls, it's not because you're with somebody else, all right? So let's get three. Ooh, wait then. Let me get them oracle cards, and then we're gonna close it out. These cards will play here. One, two, one more. Thank you. All right. Somebody might have red hair. Yeah, might very much so. So we have ooh, shapeshifter again. That's that dishonesty, right? Um, mm. Somebody feels be trying. Somebody feels like they need to play a role or be who they think you want them to be. Okay. So we have shapeshifter, grounding, and vision. So again, it does feel like somebody is playing a role based on what they think you want them to be. But there needs to be an opportunity to have a discussion around this. This is where the grounding comes coming in. Like, let's land this plane and have a conversation about what's going on here. And allow this person with the vision card, I'm seeing, um, allow them to have a new sight around what it is you want, right? They think they know what you want, but have you had that conversation? Because what you might want might be something completely different. You might be somebody who's like, I could care less if you go to the gym while they're tripping about going twice a day. I mean, twice a week. So making sure there's clarity and they have the correct view of what it is that you want. Because for some, they might be living up to an expectation that you did not set for them. They set it for themselves. So having that conversation. So to answer your question, is this person who they say they are? For the most part, yes. It looks like they're doing a little bit of embellishing in different areas, but for the most part, they are who they say they are, and they do want to move forward with you. But there needs to be conversation about what's going on because I do not see it improving if you do not have the conversation. I will say that. Okay. All right. So if I summarize who's coming, I would say the first group is somebody who left on their own, who sabotaged and left on their own. Looks like they're wanting to come back to have a conversation. The middle group is it's not necessarily a who's coming, it's a who's going. But having that conversation about what that means, if this is temporary, ringing in my ear. That's a very direct message for somebody. And the last one, who's coming, is this person who's here who they really say they are. So maybe what needs to be coming is a conversation about what expectations are. So hopefully this was helpful. Look forward to communicating with you all later in our next read. And until the next time, go check out the music. Go vibe. Let me know what works and what doesn't. All right, you all take care, stay safe, and make sure to drink your water.